Sparse precipitation rarely invokes growing. Hello, Marauders. It is April 21st. It's a Tuesday, and it's a bamillion degrees Celsius. According to my widget, it's supposedly 70 degrees right now. But firstly, I think it's lying, and secondly, my room has the heat from the middle of the day that has not yet left. So it's hot. And I had class at 7:40 this morning, and I left the house at 7:10 to take the bus over to class, and it was uncomfortable at 7 in the morning, and it was pretty bad because after I went to that class, I had to go to the computer lab to write a lab report, and in this computer lab there's lots of windows to the outside and to the inside, and there's a bazillion computers running all the time and people coming in and out, so that's really, really uncomfortable. And so after that, I have to go up to Horse Canyon, which is on campus, but it's at the outskirts of campus. You have to go up this hill towards the Equine Center, which is a couple parking lots out of the way already. And then you have to go off through the horse pastures and into this place called Horse Canyon, where we do our labs for our ecology class. And the problem with this is it's a bazillion degrees outside, and it's California, so there's very few trees. There's just a lot of scrubs and maybe like one tree. So I was hovering it up there, and I felt pretty sick, actually, but luckily when I got up there, some guy was like, "Oh, you need some water? Maybe I'll give you some." And I was like, "Well, you're a nice dude." So that was actually okay. But I felt kind of bad because throughout that whole lab I was pretty useless because of that and because of this. I was going home from dinner on Thursday night at about 9 o'clock, and it was dark. And I was going through a parking lot, and I tripped on the stopper at the end of one of the spaces, the cement blocks, and I fell. I fell on my hands, and I fell on my elbow, and I fell on my knee. There's a big fat bruise there, but I'm not going to show you. And it was hurting, and my range of motion was totally shot in my elbow. So I went to the health center on Friday, and they took x-rays and said, "Well, we see some dark spots around the elbow where we think there might be a small fracture, but we can't actually see the fracture, so we're going to send you to a specialist on Thursday." So in 2 days, that's where I will be figuring out whether or not I'm actually broken. In other health-related news, I went back home this weekend briefly for a night so I could go to the orthodontist on Monday to see if I could get my braces off. And so I go into their office at 9:40, and I come in, and they look at my teeth, and the doctor comes in and looks at my teeth and checks it with a mirror, and she's like, "Okay, we can take your braces off." But she didn't do it then. And I was like, man, I drove all this way and missed a day of class so I could hear that I can get my braces off, but I can't actually have them off. But in good news, I'm going back this Friday. Well, I'm going back on Thursday night, but my appointment's on Friday, and I'm getting my braces off, and hopefully that's for good. I'll have a retainer, obviously, but honestly, I don't care. It's been a long time, and I am sick of having 5 rubber bands all the time. And it's funny because since I broke my elbow, I have to do all of the bands on this side with my right hand, which I usually use my left hand for one and the right hand for the other, so I miss the little hooks a lot more often, so it's a even bigger pain in the ass. But since I only have to do that for another 3 days, I'm happy. So I'm kind of gimpy, and I guess that's all I have to say. I have school and stuff that I've been doing, but I mean, a lot of it's been interfered, or a lot of it's been affected by all my stupid health things, but this is the most hectic I've been in terms of that, so I guess I'm pretty healthy. So I will see you guys later. Mischief managed.